Then I took a smidge and applied it down there.
This one's wife. Finally, meet the real children. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Probably one of the biggest and most controversial aspects about this one's wife relates to the children. It's regularly stated that Harry and this one's wife are parents to Archie, who was age 4, and Lilibet, who's age 2. There are many people who are sceptical about this. There are some who believe that the children simply do not exist, and the photographs that have been shown to the world involve child models or child actors who have been hired by the gruesome twosome to make it seem as if they have children. That in the past there has been quite frenzied speculation that this one's wife, with her rictus grin, went for a walk in Canada, staring down the lens of the relevant paparazzi, while she had carried a doll. Indeed, I understand that other commentators have gone to some lengths to demonstrate that it is indeed a doll and not a child. I, looking at these matters as I do from the perspective of narcissism, have explained to you how a narcissist could engage in such behaviour to maintain the appearance of having had children when they have not, and the reasons why they would do that. I've also explained that if the children do exist, why is it that they're hardly ever seen? There are others who believe that the children exist, but arose through surrogacy, that this one's wife never carried the children, and that she faked her pregnancies using moon bumps. Again, there have been internet detectives who've gone to quite considerable lengths to demonstrate, with varying degrees of credibility, the existence of the moon bump and why that happened. Individuals have pointed to the different sizes and positions of the moon bump, as it was described, how it appeared to get larger, then get smaller, how it appeared in one position, then higher up, and there are also suggestions that it had deflated, that it had made a popping noise, and there is a wealth of material about all of this across the internet. All of this has led to many people simply stating there are no children. There are others who think that perhaps the children do exist, that they arose through surrogacy, but that's not something that this one's wife would admit to, because it would make her seem less than perfect, and of course there would be an issue with regard to their involvement in the line of succession. Furthermore, there are some that have speculated that there might be something wrong with the children because they do not meet with the image of perfection that a somatic narcissist such as this one's wife would have, and in the circumstances, their appearances have been limited or that they've been replaced by the use of actors. There are others who have fought back against these theories, suggesting that they are the deluded ramblings of conspiracy theorists and that there's no substance to them. What we do know is that there were some strange circumstances surrounding the announcement of the birth in relation to Archie, that it's rather unusual that a clinic where Lilibet was born closed down, and what we do know is the Sussexes regularly go places without the children, and the children are hardly ever seen, either in the Monty Shit Show area or just generally in terms of photo shoots, and that they're not pictured spontaneously, but rather, on the few occasions they do appear, it's in a carefully orchestrated manner, which might suggest utilising child actors to ensure the pictures are taken and thinking, right, that'll keep them satisfied for the time being. Whatever you might think about it, whether you accept the children are actually in existence and were carried by this one's wife, whether you think they do exist but they came from a surrogate, or whether you think they do not exist at all and child actors, child models have been used, you are entitled to form your view. But what we do know is that a narcissist such as this one's wife will repeatedly use the existence of the children for the purpose of triangulation. that she will triangulate Harry with them. So, for instance, utilising the threat of taking them away from him to the extent that they exist. She will triangulate the general public with them for the purposes of causing people to be under control, to draw fuel from them, to seek residual benefits, that she would merchandise them. No wonder certain wags on the internet have described them as merchy and lillibucks. But repeatedly, this one's wife utilises the children to portray herself as a doting, caring, wonderful mother, that she does so in order to manage that facade. Once again, demonstrating her absence of emotional empathy not too long ago by talking about being a mother to people that had just lost their children as a consequence of suicide. Sticking her cloven hoofs right in her mouth once again. This one's wife utilises the existence of the children to seek the prime aims. They are meant to be little mirrors of her, and she ensures that you get told about them on a repeated basis even though you don't see them. That virtually every article that appears about her, especially the PR puff pieces, has to make mention of her being a wonderful mother, a doting mother, that she's a mother to Archie 4 and Lilibet 2. It's repeated as if we've got the memory of goldfish and have to be reminded of their existence. It's similar to the way that she often has to remind you about what an idyllic marriage she has, even though we know that it isn't. That she has to remind you of how successful she is, although she actually isn't. The whole necessity of driving that appearance down your throat, and she's at it again. This time with a quite ridiculous PR puff piece, which has been written as if you were actually meeting the children for the first time, as if what had gone before had never actually happened, that Archie and Lilibet weren't really the children, but this is who the real children are. It's quite astonishing. Unsurprisingly, it appears in Hello, and it's written by Francesca Shilcock that tells us, almost 1 year to the day after their fairy tale wedding at St. George's Chapel in Windsor, bringing up the past, Prince Harry and this one's wife introduced their firstborn, Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor, to the world. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex looked over the moon and totally in love with their new son as they greeted photographers at Windsor Castle. Just a few days later, the royal couple introduced their newborn to their late Majesties, Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip. Fast forward to the summer of 2021 and Harry and this one's wife became parents once again, welcoming baby Lilibet Diana in June of that year. In the time between Archie's birth and becoming a big brother, the family had upped and moved from England to the US after the Duke and Duchess stepped down from their duties as senior working members of the royal family. Now, pausing there, you already know all of this, and yet here we are in an article that emerged only late yesterday, the 30th of January 2024, telling us about things that took place in 2018, 2019 and 2021. Why? Why is it that this one's wife has this necessity of repeating this history? We then get told the family of 4 now reside in Monte Shitshow. Really? We didn't know. In a gorgeous mansion, estimated to be worth around $30 million. It's gone up in value. Since their move, the family have often kept their everyday lives to themselves. But a Netflix documentary, a televised interview with Oprah Winfrey, and an explosive memoir later, royal fans have come to learn more about Harry and this one's wife and their relationship with the royal family at large. But still, less is known about little Archie, now aged 4, and Lilibet, aged 2. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have been selective about photographs and video footage they have shared of their 2 children. Royal followers have seen far less of the 2 children than that of their cousins, Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis, for example. Here's everything there is to know about the Sussex children. It's as if you're being introduced to the real children for the first time here in 2024. We already know all of this. Prince Archie was born on the 9th of May 2021 at the Portland Hospital in London, and is sixth in line of succession to the British throne. Now that's interesting, because I always thought he was born on the 6th of May 2019, but Hello tells me he was born on the 9th of May 2021, which of course isn't accurate at all, and it's clearly an error that has been made by Hello. But fancy pumping out a PR puff piece about the children as if it's the first time that they've ever been mentioned, and you get it wrong. Archie was not born with his royal title. Instead, he was born with the styling Master Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor. At the time, it was reported that the Duke and Duchess had decided to opt away from the entitlement of a royal title. This one's wife, however, then stated in a sit-down interview with Oprah Winfrey that she was told that changes would be made to remove said entitlement. It wasn't until the late Queen Elizabeth II passed away and King Charles III's accession to the throne in September 2022 that Archie, as a child of the son of a monarch, became entitled to use the title Prince and be styled as His Royal Highness. This was also granted to Lilibet Diana, who became Princess Lilibet in September 2022. We're then told something about what Prince Harry had to say about it all in Spare, saying, "I would love nothing more than for our children to have relationships with members of my family. And they do with some, which brings me great joy." Well, you and your wife have been doing your level best to present that, but there we are. There haven't been many times where Prince Archie has been seen out and about with his parents, but the Royals' Netflix documentary, Harry and This One's Wife, showed plenty of footage from the time when they first moved to the States. Bringing up the past, viewers saw plenty of videos of Archie playing football with his dad and grandmother Doria Ragland, and cooking in the kitchen with his mum, as well as singing along to some Elton John and playing musical instruments. Royal fans perhaps saw Archie the most when he was a baby and joined Prince Harry and This One's Wife on their tour of South Africa in September 2019, just 4 months after his birth. During his Apple TV Plus series The Me You Can't See, it was also revealed that Archie had a photo of his late grandmother, Princess Diana, hanging in his nursery. It was also shared that his first words were Mama, Papa and Crocodile. Lilibet Lily Diana Mountbatten Windsor was born on the 4th of June 2021, which is quite astonishing that somehow This One's Wife managed to give birth in May 2021 and then June 2021. Clearly an error. While her older brother was born in the United Kingdom, Lilibet was born in Santa Barbara, California. The birth of their second child was different in many ways. There was no statement to reveal the news by the palace specifically. Instead, Prince Harry and This One's Wife shared a statement on their Archwell Foundation website. On June the 4th, we were blessed with the arrival of our daughter Lily. She is more than we could ever have imagined, and we remain grateful for the love and prayers we felt from across the globe. Royal fans will know that Lilibet is the nickname that Queen Elizabeth had as a child. The late monarch picked up the nickname in her younger years due to her difficulty pronouncing her full name. It's an affectionate name that stayed with her and was of huge sentimental value. It was only used by a handful of people closest to the Queen, her parents, King George VI, and the Queen Mother, her late sister Princess Margaret, her husband Prince Philip, and a few friends. Of course, it omits the stealing of this nickname, as mentioned in parts passing. And we are then told about her first birthday, that it was perfectly timed with the celebrations around the late Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebrations. It was during this time that the Sussexes travelled to the United Kingdom and introduced Lily to her late Majesty for the first time. During a private birthday party at Frogmore Cottage in Windsor, their former home, the Sussexes released an official photograph of Lilibet playing on the grass. Since then, footage of the little one has been seen in their Netflix documentary, and the occasional photograph of Lilibet with her parents. What have Harry and This One's Wife said about more children? As for whether Prince Harry and This One's Wife will extend their family anytime soon, Harry put these claims to bed in 2021, bringing up the past, during their interview with Oprah Winfrey. After revealing This One's Wife, who was pregnant with Lily at the time, was expecting a girl, the proud dad said, "To have a boy and a girl, what more could you want?" Before insisting that 2 was enough, and adamantly claiming the couple wouldn't have any more. Here we are in 2024, being told things about 2 children that we've been told countless times before, but all packaged together as if we didn't actually know this, and you were being introduced to the children for the first time ever. This shows the ridiculousness of this one's wife's PR puff pieces and the necessity of how she has to keep staying in the public eye, even though she has nothing new to tell you. That she orchestrates a repackaging of all the information about her children, triangulating them with the general public, and just regurgitating information, but making it seem as if you're being told this for the first time ever. It demonstrates the compartmentalization of her narcissism, the condescending way that she treats people, and the way that it's packaged and presented as if you're being told it for the first time shows that she essentially treats those that see this material as stupid. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.